Brexit secured the support of the British public as many felt the UK shouldn't send money to the EU, and while Britain is now out of the bloc, payments may still be made for decades to come. This is because of the EU's request for the UK to pay a hefty divorce bill of £39 billion. Last August, Prime Minister Boris Johnson warned the bloc that the bill would not, strictly speaking, be owed to Brussels in full in the event of no deal, insisting, "It's not a threat. It's a reality." Speaking to broadcasters as he prepared to meet the then European Council President, Donald Tusk, at the G7 summit in Biarritz, Johnson said, "If we come out without an agreement, it is certainly true that the £39 billion is no longer, strictly speaking, owed." He told ITV, "There will be very substantial sums available to our country to spend on our priorities. It's not a threat. It's a simple fact of reality." His intervention came after Mr. Tusk warned Mr. Johnson against going down in history as Mr. No Deal. Now the UK is out of the EU and further down the transition period, the bill may not be as large as the £39 billion figure. BBC Reality Check and the Office for Budget Responsibility (OBR) estimated when the Brexit date was October 31, 2019, that the bill had fallen to £32.8 billion. The OBR estimated in January that the bill stood at just under £30 billion, most of this to be paid by 2022, with some relatively small payments still being made until the 2060s. French President Emmanuel Macron has backed Brussels' determination to secure the divorce bill. In June 2019, he told Boris Johnson that if the UK tried to withhold the huge payment, talks could be scuppered. He said the divorce payment could be treated like a sovereign debt default. Nations not repaying money they have borrowed, those which default on their sovereign debt, are punished by international markets. A debt default leads to devaluation of the currency, an increase in the price of servicing national debt, and a lower national credit score. Mr. Johnson had just promised to take the UK out of the EU without paying the £39 billion. Mr. Johnson told the Sunday Times in June last year, "I think our friends and partners need to understand that the money is going to be retained until such time as we have greater clarity about the way forward."